Hi, math champions. Now today we're going to be looking at word problems. Now, word problems that require you to use more than one step to solve. There's something I need you to remember whenever you think about word problems. Every word problem is like a story. Every word problem is like what? A story. That means all you need to do is listen carefully to the story, pick up the clues that are telling you whether you need to add, divide, subtract, or multiply to get the answers. All right? But every word problem is like a story. Now let's get into the first story. The first story says that Tolu has 50 naira. That's your first clue. She has 50 naira. So that is how much she has. And then she buys a book for 30 naira. Because she bought that book, that means you're going to subtract 30 naira from 50. And we will arrive at 20 naira. So now she has 20 naira. But that's not the end. Look, it says she then gave 5 naira to her sister Ade. How much does she have left? So we now still have to take away 5 naira from 20 to get 15 naira. That's how you solve the first word problem. Now, if you don't want to do it in steps like this, you can say, Tolu had 15 naira. She bought a book that was 30. So the first money that she gave away was 30 naira. And then she gave 5 naira to her sister. Then she gave away another 5 naira. So the total amount she gave away is 35. Now, if you take away 35 from her original 50, you will arrive at 15 naira. Every word problem is like a story. Now let's look at our second story. Zara had 1,000 naira. Wow, Zara is rich. She had 1,000 naira. She spent 350 naira on shoes. Wow, Zara must love shoes, just like me. I love shoes. So she spent 350 naira on shoes. So let's see how much she had left after she spent that on shoes. So we have 9 minus 3 is... So basically she had 650 naira left. But was she done? No. And she then spent 250 naira on snacks. She must love snacks. So we're going to take away 250 naira. So 0, 5 minus 5 is 0, 6 minus 2 is 4. That means Zara ended up with 400 naira. But what if we wanted to combine the total amount of money that she gave away? The first amount she spent was 350 naira. Then on shoes, then she spent another 250 on snacks. So the total money that Zara spent was 600 naira. So if she spent 600 naira and she originally had 1,000, that means we're going to take away 600 from 1,000. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 minus 6 is 4. I will arrive at 400 naira. Remember, every word problem, no matter how long it is or how complex it sounds, it is just like a story. If you follow it carefully, it will tell you exactly what to do and exactly what it is asking you to solve. Now let's get to the third question, or rather the third story. The third story says, the sum of 2 numbers is 100. One of the numbers is 37. What is the other? Let's think about that for a minute. That means if I add 2 numbers, I will get 100. But they only told us what one of the numbers is. So how do I find the second number? So basically, they're telling me that 37 plus a number I don't know, which is x, is equal to 100. Now, how do I find the value of x? How do I find the value of the number that I do not know? I am going to take away 37 from 100 to find that missing number. Now, 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 3 is 6. So that means my other number, the number that's missing is 63. Just following the word problem told me exactly what to do. Now let's look at the fourth story. Every word problem is like a story. 4 says, a factory produces 50 bottles a day. How many bottles will they produce in 4 weeks? Pay attention. They produce 50 bottles in 1 day. Now they're asking you to calculate for 4 weeks. The first thing you need to figure out is how many days are in 4 weeks? Let's back up a bit and think. How many days are in 1 week? We have 7 days in 1 week. So if I have 7 days in 1 week, how many days will I have in 4 weeks? I'm going to have 7 times 4, which is 28 days. So I'm going to have 28 days in 4 weeks. So now that we know the number of days in 4 weeks, and every day 50 bottles are produced, how do I calculate how many bottles are produced in 4 weeks? Now, if I was to count 50 bottles on day 1, then another 50 bottles on day 2, then another 50 bottles on day 3, then another 50 bottles on day 4. When will I get to 28? By the time I get to 28, I probably would have forgotten how many bottles I was counting. But there's a quick and easy way of doing that. And that is to say 50 bottles a day times how many days? 28 days. 8 times 0, 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Now let's use 2. Because we use 2, we're going to put a placeholder there. 2 times 0 is 0, and 2 times 5 is 10. Now let's add these up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. And 1 plus nothing is 1. So that means in 28 days, the company is going to produce 1,400 bottles. Now remember, every word problem is like a story. And as long as you follow the story carefully, it will tell you whether you're going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide to find the answer. So next time you have a word problem in front of you, make sure you read it carefully, look for the clues, and handle it like the detective that you are.
I am learning with I Am Learning Hub.